Hello dear students, in this video I am going to discuss the strategy to prepare for your exam. As promised earlier, we are back here to discuss all the things to help you out in your exam. And what are those things? One by one I'll reveal everything for you in this video. So let me come to the first part of this, that is section A. So here I'm going to tell you that how section wise you should have a proper strategy, a perfect strategy to score maximum marks. So you have three sections in English, especially yes. We are completely targeting your board exams, which is on 24th. English paper is on 24th, and we have very less time with us. It is. It's a very not even a 1 month, I would say. So how should you work on this? What are the things that you must have in your mind? So as far as section A, reading section is concerned, there are some good things that no deductions are to be made for errors in spelling, grammar and punctuation. That is okay, fine, it's a good thing. But what should be the part of your strategy? So you have two varieties of passages, factual, descriptive, literary, and the other one is case-based. So minimum 5 passages of each type should be prepared. That means, yes, 5 of factual and descriptive and 5 of case-based, so that you must know that what are the types of questions you will be asked in the exam, where you may have problem and how to overcome those problems. So at least 5 if you do of each type, you will know, yes, these are the varieties and here I may have problem, and then you may have your own strategy for overcoming those hurdles and problems. So while practicing, try to include value points in your answers. If you have to write your answers, you should have the important points or value points which the examiner is expecting from you should be there. Avoid copying lines. So instead of copying lines, try to form your own answers on the basis, unless we can use it or use the line exactly for the answer. Like if it is for some name of a person or a place or something like that, that can be used. But otherwise, if you have to read between the lines, then form your own answer. That would be really good. Don't assign more than 40 minutes. Definitely more than 40 minutes should not be given to reading section, because if you take more than that, you will have less time for the other sections, that is writing and literature part, and definitely there you will require more time, especially to think in the questions which you haven't read earlier, or which you think that bit tricky and complicated. So you need to have proper management of time. So apart from all these things, there are some more things that I would like to tell you in reading section, which is quite important. You may have different varieties of questions. For example, I have randomly picked a question here. So I'll tell you that what varieties you may have in reading section. So based on your understanding of the passage, choose the option that gives the correct sequence of planet in the ascending order of moons. So here it's a particular question picked randomly from a passage. So what I want to tell you here is that the sequence, if it is some chronological sequence given in the passage, that may not be in perfect order. So on the basis of your understanding of the passage, you should have to arrange it in a sequence, and that arrangement is to be matched with the given option. It means they may have randomly placed the things in a different way in the passage, but you'll have to find out that, okay, this happened earlier, this happened later. So this kind of questions we may find in your passage.
हेलो स्टूडेंट्स, अब बोर्ड की टेंशन खत्म। एलन करियर इंस्टीट्यूट की 34 इयर्स की लेगेसी का बेनिफिट अब आपको बोर्ड्स में भी मिलने वाला है। हम आपके लिए लाए हैं PYQs, सैंपल पेपर्स, NCERT सॉल्यूशंस एंड अ कॉम्बो ऑफ प्रैक्टिकल बुकलेट्स, जिसमें आपको एक साथ मिलेंगे PCB और PCM के प्रैक्टिकल्स, और ये सब अवेलेबल है ई-कॉमर्स साइट फ्लिपकार्ट और Amazon पर।
Okay, next one is this. We can make smarter choices about the way we use technology by making changes in our everyday usage patterns. Pick the option in which the meaning of patterns is not the same as it is in the passage. So what does that mean? The word patterns, how it has been used in the passage. Now, you have 4 options, and out of these 4 options, you have to find out in the one in which patterns has not been used in the way it has been used here or in the passage. So here the word patterns mean what? Manners, the way, behavior, right? So here in option A, we can say by the time the police caught up to Sanders, they knew even more about his patterns and practices. It means his behavior, his manners. So that is what patterns mean. Silk scarves in contrasting shades and embroidered patterns enhance this busy but feminine look. So what again, here patterns means design, right? So pattern, the meaning of word patterns is different here. Over time, female textile entrepreneurs developed certain patterns in their business plans which made them very rich. Now here patterns again mean, we can say, behavior and manners, and the nutrition researchers studied everyday breakfast patterns of the citizens of Washington. So here patterns again mean what? Behavior and manner. So it means in this way, you can, by reading the sentences, you can find out that what is the meaning of the given word, or you should have a proper understanding of the usages of the word. So by doing different varieties, by doing different such questions, you will identify that whether you are getting them right or wrong. So it means if you are getting them wrong, your approach is not proper. So you need to form that approach, and by discussing with your teachers, consulting with your teachers, you can find out how to go about such kind of questions, right? Now, let's come to the second section, that is writing section, okay? And the most important part in writing is what? Learning the formats. Yes, you have different questions, 4 varieties here: notice, invitation, letter, article. Article and report. Out of these 2, any one is to be attempted. Either of the 2 is to be attempted, right? Now, you must know the formats of all these things perfectly and properly, okay? Now, what you have a certain format for notice writing, a certain format for invitation writing. So whatever is prescribed by CBSE, that is to be properly followed, right? That is to be properly followed. It means in notice, what is the alignment, what is the sequence of the things, where gap should be maintained, all that is to be properly, followed. So learn all the formats, then practice writing long composition in 15 to 20 minutes and a short composition in 5 to 10 minutes. So of course, a short composition means notice or invitation, so that can be easily completed in 5 to 10 minutes because there are almost fixed things. And in invitation, it is rather too easy. In notice, of course, you may have to devise 1 or 2 lines. If invitation is card format, that is quite fixed. In letter format, you may have to frame a line or 2. So easily can be completed in 5 to 10 minutes. So what you have to do is practice different varieties, different set of questions which you may find in sample papers or PYQs, and these are available. Ellen has launched its PYQs and sample papers on e-commerce platforms like Amazon and Flipkart. You can purchase from there and practice, and otherwise board has issued sample papers. You can purchase them as well. Sorry, you can download them as well and practice from them. So what you need to, what I mean is, you need to understand that there can be this many varieties, and you must at least try them out and get them checked that whether you are committing any kind of errors in them or not. So in long composition, 15 to 20 minutes will be okay. In writing an article or a report, yes, that would suffice. And you must know that what you write in 15 to 20 minutes, whether that is substantial or concrete, means have some good points in them or not, how much you will get for that, right? So these are the things that you must keep in your mind. Fine. Now try writing in a convincing manner. So whatever you write, now suppose you have not we don't have to suppose, we have only very few days left. So what we can do is at least five of each type should be practiced, whether notice or invitation, report, letter. Five of each type should be practiced. In letter you can reduce the number, especially in job application, because job application you don't have to do much. A cover letter is almost fixed, only the name of the post and the qualification for that is to be changed, and rest will be the same. So in that case you don't have to practice much, but according to the post you must know the qualification, that what qualification is to be included. Okay, then try writing in a convincing manner. Whatever you write should have proper logics and arguments in support of the thing. You use good range of vocab and appropriate sentence structure. Try while practicing, try using good vocab, good appropriate sentence structures, that is to be tried. Make accurate use of spelling, punctuation, grammar. So you must take care of punctuation, grammar, spellings. These things are also important. And for all the questions in writing, allocation of marks is this: 1, 2, 2 for content, 1 for layout, 1 for organization of ideas, and 1 for accuracy. It means for content means rest is all one. Content means the answer for what, when, where, why, how. That takes 2 marks. So can give 50 minutes. So suppose you are doing the 2 short answer types in 10 minutes, 20, and the other 2 letter and article in 15 minutes. So 20 plus 30, 50 minutes in that way. But you won't take 10 minutes, I know, for short compositions, and letter can be completed in 10 to 15 minutes maximum. Article or report can also be completed in 15 to 20 minutes. So in 50 minutes you can easily complete your writing section. So while practicing you should note the time, that how much time you take. Moreover, you can use rephrasing methods that I have mentioned here. Rephrasing is what? Try improving good your writing, that wherever good words can be included, introduce, use good words and phrases while reading. Mark them, underline them, so that you remember later when you prepare for finally when you revise the things. So you can include them in your articles and reports. So rephrasing method is good, that how a line can be written in different ways. When you first try it, you will understand. It will open up your mind for all the possibilities, that yes, a sentence can be written in this many ways and this is the best way. So while in exam as well, this will help you a lot to use good sentences and phrases, right? Now let's come to your section C, that is literature section. So highest, we can say, probability of getting your marks deducted is in literature section, because in writing, I said letter is there, job application 100% job application will be there, invitation 100% an invitation will be there. Now what varieties of invitation can be there? Wedding ceremony, it can be tonsure ceremony, it can be inauguration ceremony, it can be inviting somebody to be the chief guest, it can be a reply that you will be able to attend or you won't be able to attend. What else? So there are almost limited number of varieties, so there is nothing to worry about those things, right? So but in literature, the problem comes in literature. So as I said, in writing there is not much problem. If you are well prepared, you can be sure that yes, I'll get full out of full in writing, or at least 1 mark if it is deducted in article or say report or any of these things. So fine, 1 or 2 marks, but still you will have a good score in writing. In literature, if you don't include value points, if coherence and relevance is not there, and you haven't read the chapters properly, you don't know how to justify the given particular question, your marks can be deducted. More of marks can be deducted, especially in long answer type. But there is a good thing that you should do, that there are limited number of long answer type questions. So if you practice them properly, you can be sure that yes, whatever comes from this chapter, I'll be able to answer. But there is one very important, crucial thing that I would like to tell you, that CBSE has introduced some different varieties this time in literature, and which hasn't been there earlier. And two sample papers which CBSE has provided, in both the sample papers that pattern has been maintained. So we can hope that that variety may be there in your annual exam as well. So it means you need to know, and what are those varieties, I'll show you here so that you have an idea and you can mentally prepare for that thing. So read and practice questions from each chapter. So what you should do now, if you have already read the chapters, then okay, don't have to repeat, simply go through variety of questions, read their answers, and know that if this comes, this is to be the answer, if that comes, that is to be the answer. Means prepared set of answers which you may find in our module, or if you are following something else in that, so that you know that yes, this is to be written for a particular question. Try to use textual evidences in your answer. Yes, textual evidences increase the possibility of getting good score. So try to include textual evidences in your answers, that always work. Short answer type and long answer type questions should not exceed 5 and 10 minutes respectively. Means this is just an idea that you can easily complete a short answer type in 5 minutes, a long answer type in 10 minutes, sometimes even more. But yes, a general idea that sometimes short answer type may not even take 5 minutes if you have read the chapters and if you know the details properly. So okay, you try, practice, and you know that how much you take, and accordingly try to improvise. If you are taking say more than 15 minutes or 20 minutes for a long answer type question, then that is not well. Try to reduce the time, at least for the answers or for those particular questions that you know. Your marks are deducted because either you don't include all the value points or your expressions is not proper. So you're given marks for what? Your relevance, your coherence, your grammar, your spelling, your punctuation, your value points, means the content. So these are the things for which you are given marks. Coherence means whatever you write should be in proper sequence, beginning, mid, ending. And relevance means whatever has been asked, you are answering that particular thing, you are justifying that thing. Grammar, punctuation. So for all these things you are given marks, and if you miss any of these things, definitely your marks will be deducted. In long answer, try to introduce the idea properly and then one by one present all the relevant details in a coherent manner. So of course, first you should introduce the proper idea, that what they are asking. Right in the beginning, you introduce it in a proper manner, then offer your points, the logics, the arguments that you can in the support of your opinion. Okay, go on mentioning them one by one. Logical cohesion is important, means whatever you write should be logically and rationally connected and related. Okay, so in that way, if you include all such things, you will definitely be able to impress the examiner and you will get full marks in that. PYQs can help. You will know that what types they asked earlier, and sample papers can also. So you can take the help of PYQs, and sample papers can give 50 minutes to this section as well. So in that way, we can say we'll have at least half an hour. We don't require that half an hour. We need only 10 to 15 minutes at the end. So if some mismanagement happens, even then we'll have at least 15 minutes or 20 minutes at the end, and that is sufficient to review, to go through the paper again, to find out that whether you have committed any silly mistake at any point of time in any particular answer. So in those 10 to 15 minutes, you'll be able to rectify those things and you will be sure that yes, I'll be getting this many marks, right? So these are the things. So now once again, I'm repeating certain points. Practice different varieties of passages, and note your time in them, that how much time you take. Try to mark the problems that you are facing, that in this kind of question I have problem and here I am getting marks. Okay, so this will help you filter the things. In writing, learn all the formats, practice different varieties, at least 5 of each type, and then mark the things where you are committing mistakes and where you are strong. Okay, then come to literature. Read all the questions from all the chapters, possible ones. Okay, and try writing some answers, get them checked, and analyze on that basis. At least 1 or 2 papers before your exam is a must, and getting them checked as well, so that you know that yes, out of the total 80 marks you will get this much. So if you follow this strategy properly and perfectly, okay, religiously, if you follow my advice, I can say you will definitely get very good marks. So I hope you're getting my point and you will follow this, and then definitely you will score good marks. So here, just for your sake, just to uh, give you a clear idea, I have included certain questions. A smile does not always indicate happiness. Does my mother at 66 reflect this statement? Justify your response with an example from the poem. So, this question, a smile does not always indicate happiness. It's a different variety. Perhaps you won't find in the reference books or anywhere else, or even in the previous year questions. So you'll have to think once and then you'll have to answer. Okay, what does the description of Mukesh's family in Lost Spring reveal about gender roles? Now this too is a different set, different variety. Gender roles, it has, from this chapter, it has never been asked in the previous years. So it means there are certain possible. Of course, all questions won't be like this. Similarly, in long answer type, we can see this one as well. In the enemy, Hannah's thoughts and actions regarding Tom were in discord. Now, if you don't know discord, you are lost that what to do. Then you will have to understand, figure out what discord would mean, and then you will have to answer. So support this statement with examples from the text. Now, some of the questions I have seen that they are asking for examples. In sample papers, they are asking for examples from the text to support the answer. So in that case, you must know what was there in the text, and you will have to write them out in your answers. So unless you have read the text properly, you won't know that what is to be quoted, what is to be written. And one more, friends from the last lesson and the peddler from. So combining 2 chapters. This too is another variety. Combining 2 chapters and then comparing and analyzing them. This is the new variety which CBSE has given in the sample papers. So demonstrate importance of learning from our mistakes. Just as in last lesson, it shows that one has to learn from the mistake, because later on they regret and realize that they committed mistake and they try to improve on that. Similarly, the peddler as well, he was caught in the rat trap of the world, and later he realizes when he was caught that what was his mistake, and he later mend his ways. So this is a comparison. So this kind of questions. Now see, imagine that Shubhangi, your friend, feels as if she has made a mistake by not taking her academics seriously. Write an essay to Shubhangi in 120-150 words, discussing instances from the 2 texts. Now you have to mention instances and examples from the 2 texts, and help your friend overcome this guilt. Tell her that yes, you haven't committed, or whatever was gone is gone. Now you can work on this, you can improve, you can rectify your mistake. So this is the kind of question, and finally you may begin like this, means a hint is also given. So these are the varieties. I hope you are getting my point, that these possibilities are there. So you must be mentally prepared. Once you are mentally prepared that yes, even if such questions are there, I'll be able to answer. And for that, you just have to try writing certain answers for these questions, these varieties, and it won't be a big task. It won't be a big deal. You will easily, once you are prepared here, you will easily score well, you will easily get the points. So this is all from my side, and all the best for you. Just prepare hard, and rest the things will be quite easy. Thank you.